we are. Rabell Realty Group is back with our podcast on another amazing Monday at 2. Thanks for joining. I'm Kristen Rebecca.
And I'm Rebecca Johnson.
And here we are. We're going to jump right into the market report as always.
All right,
there we go.
We're back and we've got the market report, or what's trending for October so far. In the month of October, we've had 164 new listings hit the market. Now that's the first through today, which is the 19th. Pending sales this month are up to 289, and then the closed for October so far is 199. So we're still seeing a very strong market. We're not seeing much of a slowdown. I know there was a little bit of a week in October where it was a little slower. Maybe it was the end of September, but it was definitely still trending upwards. We're still seeing a lot of activity. Buyers are still out there. We were talking about it this morning with our agents on the huddle about what they're seeing, what price points are really lacking inventory, and that's most of them.
Right. So I was speaking with another broker, a local broker today, and we were talking about how there's only 700 houses on the market right now. So again, that's very low inventory, but with the rates so low, there's buyers that are just coming out of the woodworks. And the buyers that were looking 6 to 9 months ago when COVID was sort of starting, they are coming back still and really looking for these homes, which are not out there. So again, we're always looking for listings, and the great thing that a lot of people are doing right now that we're noticing, and we've even talked about doing, is putting our house on the market, selling it for this great value, and then renting. And I know that doesn't sound very glamorous or fantastic, but when the market turns again, you've got to rent, you're renting something, and then you can come back and buy these other houses for really, a much lower price than what they're selling for right now. What we are noticing, though, that we talked about is that, do you think these buyers are pulling back a little with these high prices?
I do. We talked about this also with the agents this morning, and we shared some thoughts on what we're seeing in terms of buyer behavior. They're not necessarily agreeing to pay list price right off the bat. They're more hesitant or resistant and say, you know what, that seems high, I'll wait. So we are seeing the days on the market on some homes. Obviously, not everything is equal in terms of this house listed and went under contract in hours, because that was one of the grievances that we had.
Right, and those are usually the houses that are priced right with the market. They're not overpricing over the market, but the ones that are overpricing over the market are taking a little while because the buyers are savvy. You can find things on all of these websites, you know what's going on, and they're not wanting to pay full price if they are priced too high. So it's still about pricing your house as well and knowing the time frame that's going to be on the market with your realtors. And the realtors were using lots of tactics of marketing. I know at Rabell we use Boomtown. We use Brick City.
Brick
We
City
use so many things. We use Brick City as our videos and photography. And those, when I get houses, photographed and videoed by that company, they're gone in a second, especially if I'm priced right, because as you see our videos in the beginning and the ending, they're beautiful. And there are a couple of realtors in town who picked them up also. Congratulations. We brought them to you.
No, they do a great job. We love the way they film, and it really does help ramp up the marketing. But yeah, so we're seeing that. And the other thing that I thought was really interesting market-wise was we had a realtor talking about a listing she had. She got 2 offers well below list price within the first,
24 hours.
The first 24 hours, and that seller held firm. So I do think
she actually had to guide them and coax them to hold firm. And usually, the adage is, the first offer is the best offer. But in this case, it really wasn't. And she got 2 offers up front that were $15,000, $20,000 off. And she just told them, hold on, because I know this market and this price that we have is a good price. We should not have to go too low. He wanted to go lower because it still hit his numbers. He's an investor owner who's just getting rid of his investments right now because, holding on to that money for when the market does fall. We don't know. We don't have crystal balls when that will happen, but it's definitely not right now because we're still, somebody was asking, are we going to see a break during November and December? And I really don't think so, and neither did the other broker.
I don't think so. I think it's going to continue on. It's been 2020 has been a weird year no matter how you look at it, but it's also an election year, so it's kind of funny.
But we also have these really low rates that are going to stick around for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
so it's hard for these buyers can buy a little higher than they were before, so they can technically buy at the prices right now unless you're priced over the market value.
And I always try not to be this person, but I'm like, oh, I remember when. My kids always make fun of me. But I'm like, I remember when low rates were in the sixes. Who would have ever thought that we'd be like, fighting over 3-4%? Some people are getting 2% depending on the types of loans that they're doing. I almost like fall out of my chair when buyers are like, oh, well, I got a rate in the 4s and it's just too high. I'm going to have to shop around. I'm like,
but they can right now.
They
with
can,
refis.
but
you
it's
can get
crazy.
2.5, 3.5, and I mean it's better than the 4. So
100%.
One day 4 was really low, and now it's just average. Nothing
I know
special.
That's the norm. So here's the year to comparison chart, and this is just something we pulled off of the MLS that we have access to here in Gainesville, Alachua County, and it's just kind of a little overview of what you're seeing in terms, and you can see we're in the negatives. How much volume has sold versus a year ago. Are we up? Are we down? Average sales price, median sale price.
Clearly, we're way up in those average and median sale prices.
Yes.
I was almost shocked the other day when we saw it was in the 280s.
Yeah.
Because typically in Alachua County, Gainesville, it's really more 240s, 250s. And even last year, we were really shocked that it was a little higher. And now it's even higher in the 280s. So, again, these low rates help our market sustain these higher prices.
So if you're thinking about selling, now is definitely the time to start talking. I mean, we've already been talking to people that are lining up for December, January, February of 2021. So people are definitely getting their homes in shape. A consultation is always free, and we're happy to come over and meet with you and talk about what needs to be done to get your home ready. So moving on next, we're going to get into something that we were excited to talk about last week, but we did not get the opportunity due to some internet issues. Yes, thank you, Cox Cable, for that. We're going to talk about color trends. If you know anything about us, we like color, we like design, and so we get real excited about this. So this is from Behr, and they released their 2021 paint color trends. They're definitely different than what we've been seeing. I feel like we've been in a pastel.
I think we've been like a gray blue, and now we're getting into more of these earth tones. And the browns, the taupes, those are really earthy. Even that pink is kind of a little more earthy than where we were. So, and that's called Seaside Villa.
Yes.
I love these names: Sierra, Canyon Dusk, very again earthy. Selena
Almond
Gold.
Wisp.
Right.
I love it. if anybody knows out there, drop it in the comments. How do you get the job to name colors? I don't care if I get the job to name nail polish
Crayola colors or
any of them. I'm like, that sounds like such an amazing job. I'm sure they agonize and it's stressful for them, but I'm like, I'd really love the opportunity to have that job. Now I see they have purples coming back.
I am not a purple person, so
not from my home decor.
That.
You know what it reminds me of when I see purples? It reminds me of Marie from Breaking Bad.
That's true.
So everything in her house was purple, and it took me 3 seasons to realize it. Or maybe it was 2 or 3 seasons before somebody told me, they're like, everything in the house is purple. And I was like, nope, didn't notice that.
So do you think it's really going to affect Gainesville, though? Because I'm a lifelong ACR. I mean, I did move for 10 years, but I came back. And we are always about 3 to 5 years behind. Now, the internet has helped us. We used to be like 7 to 10 years behind. But I think we're a little less than behind because of the internet. Oh, look at those pretty
There are some blues.
Sorry, not on the screen.
Not on your screen, on our screen, sorry. But they do have some blues.
But do you think that these colors are going to come in with our local builders? Because what I'm finding, obviously, I'm out at Grand Oaks, you're at the Rose and Peyton's Preserve, they're still stuck on grays and very, very gray houses. What I do, because I get to design the homes when they're specs, when they're inventory homes, and I even help a lot of the buyers, and I love doing that, and they love me helping them. But I try to bring in more of the grayish colors, which were about 3 years ago, but we're still trying to pull from all of those very cool grays into the warmer beiges. And it looks like the paint trends are going way warmer. So
yeah, I mean, if you know me, I'm a huge lover of white. white cabinets, white backsplashes, white countertops, everything. I have a white stone coffee table at my house, and my mom gives me headaches all the time saying how crazy I am for having that with 3 kids. But they know to keep it.
I would love
their
you
feet
all to
off.
drop it in the comments.
Yes.
Are you white cabinet person or not?
Oh yeah, what are you all
Because I
wanting
choose
with
white
cabinets?
cabinets for everything, but everyone's always worried about the dirt from the kids or just staining. But I mean,
That's what magic
wipe down
erasers
your
are
cabinets.
for. Or yeah, it's Mr. Clean Erasers or whatever they call them. That's what
Magic
those are
erasers,
for. What I like to do with these colors is add accents and
Yes.
pops of color into my house with them, which will be easy because they're earth tones, and infuse the color.
I think when you start with the white palette, awesome, Rebecca came.
I love
that
it.
was awesome. But bringing in color, one does need a touch of color.
That's
so.
what they say.
So bringing that in really, that's my
Yep,
favorite
navel.
color, Michelle.
We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
We'll get into that a little bit. Actually, navel was the color of 2020 from Sherwin-Williams, but I have been obsessed with that color since back in our Cinnamon Hills days.
That was like 2015, 2016.
Yes, when a door was painted navel.
It was
and I
beautiful.
wanted so bad to paint my, an accent wall navel, but I knew I wasn't going to stay there for long. I just knew it was a little too much. I think it would work now that these colors are in. And although these are different colors than navel, navel is still such a beautiful blue, and we'll get into that
We're
in a
still
moment.
in 2020. You can still use that color. You'll just have to repaint it at the end of the year, unfortunately. Sorry. You can't have
Well,
that
I've got
last
my
year's
cabinets that we'll get into.
Well, that'll be fun. But yeah, so we're seeing these colors. So if you're starting to see them change in the stores, that's why. They've got lots of different earth tones, and we're excited to see it.
And again, if you're not ready to paint with these colors, just bringing in pillows, decor, bringing in these colors. These are very fall to me, so I wonder how they'll look in spring and summer.
Yeah.
You'll probably go with the lighter versions of these. These look very fall to me, and that's for 2021. But bringing these colors in, in your home, and you don't have to go big, like painting walls or painting the exterior of your home. Maybe even curtains these colors.
Purple, hilarious, love it. Yeah, purple's not a bad color, it's just not for me.
No.
I've always been more of a navy green, white. I do like that seaside villa pink up there because I like blush colors. So I'm excited to see what happens, and I guess this is my favorite time of year because they've released the colors, so I can start looking for new throw pillows. And we were over in St. Augustine over the weekend and met up to go shopping and got to buy some new throws, and I'm like, I could argue that the one I bought might be kind of close to that pinkish color that's on the screen, maybe. So
she already knows what's going on before she knows.
nah, just have a shopping problem.
That is true. All right, we'll get to the next one. I think it's all of these themes are sort of following into each other.
Yes. So the next, I believe we're going to
Next
talk
slide.
about the color navel.
So I've noticed before I even realized I was doing this that a lot of people are painting their cabinets blue, maybe not navel, but some sort of blue like this. We decided, because we've done that blog and our podcast about the cheaper ways of updating your homes. I have an old 1991 Miller Joyner home, and I did not want to tear out the cabinets. I know they're kind of old school looking. We are going to tear out the countertops now. We did find out that we have a small leak, so now we are going to tear those out. The backsplash, I'm going to do white subway tile, but I love this navel color, and I think the pops of white with it look really nice. So we have not completely finished it yet, but we're giving you a before and after look, and so I'm super excited on the finished.
What are you leaning
product.
towards countertop wise? Have you thought? Are you doing granite? Are you doing quartz? Are you?
Well, I know Cassandra over at Magma, so I'm going to get with her and see what I love. Do we have a picture of my bathroom?
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
I don't know. So we just redid our it's a full bath, a third bathroom that we have, and I did a very white countertop, and it was quartz. It's called Lincoln, and it was beautiful. Thank you, Duffy. And it just had one little, it was almost like a beige,
It's like a
golden vein through it in certain places. So I might still go with that theme because I do like the stark white, and it's a little more expensive, but worth it if I'm not pulling out all of my cabinets.
True.
And maybe I'll find something that's a little less than because the slab was not a huge piece. This is a lot bigger. I mean, this is only 2 corners of my house.
Yes,
of my
you
kitchen.
have an enormous kitchen.
Right. So, we'll see how that goes, and we'll update everybody with what we've done.
And we'll throw the picture, because you had a beautiful bathroom remodel. So we'll get a picture of that and throw that up on the blog so people can see. I mean, hopefully you've got a before picture as well.
I don't have a before picture.
It was. I'll find one.
We can find one. We know. Yeah, I think we have one from when we bought the house, because we bought it just last June.
So we'll get that and throw that up there so you can see. And then if you have any suggestions for cabinet or countertop colors, drop them below so Kristen can read them after the show and see what you all are thinking.
Still undecided.
So, but I'm being told it's time for a break. So
let's take a break. Let's check out our builder spotlight, and we'll be back.
My first job in construction was probably around the age of 14 years old, and I was definitely the laborer on a framing crew. I got into building homes because my father was a builder and developer in this area for 50 plus years now. I have a real estate license that I've had for 10 years, and now it's currently being held at Rabell Realty. Right now we are building in Grand Oaks. We have 8 different models that range between 1,700 and 2,100 square feet. What's different and unique about our homes in Grand Oaks, I would definitely say, is our smart package. It's a true smart home. We work hand in hand with Sound Ideas, a local name. They've been here for decades. Great team to work with. They stay on top of the new technology. My wife does a lot of the things that are behind the scenes that she doesn't always get the credit for, but she does. Our goal is to try and keep all of our work through Monday and Friday if we can. Faith, family, and then work. Work's very important, but it's not number one. I like to run, I like to work out, I like to hunt, I like to fish, and honestly I just like to spend time with my boys and my family, which could be anything. It's adventurous. My favorite thing about building is getting my true blood, sweat, and tears in each and every job that we have. My goals are to finish out Grand Oaks and look for our own project outside of Grand Oaks, to have just a Weisman Homes renovations project, and then after that, maybe we'll be doing more.
All right, we're back. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us or joining now. We've been talking about some color trends, and we're going to continue with some trends that we've been seeing. Just so you know, Rebecca and I have actually been working with builders almost our entire career, 14 years in real estate. So that's why we have this love and passion for current trends and your homes, and how you don't necessarily have to buy a brand new home, but you can change a few things in your home, to really boost it and make it look like today's home or something that will survive through the times. There are certain things that are definite time, you can say that house was built in the 90s because of things. But right now, so out in Grand Oaks, I'm noticing we get to do niches, and I get to pick a lot, or the builders or the buyers get to pick a lot, and these are some of the favorites that we've seen. Now the hexagon, that is
hexagon tile.
Yes, that is beautiful on your shower floor, or your tile, or your bathroom floor, or your backsplash, or even in the niches. And we were talking about the trends with the earth tones, with the colors. But right now, bold tile is a huge trend. So in any of those places, so these geometric patterns, they're really big. Now most of these niches are only about,
they're like shampoo shelves, so they're probably like 24 by 12,
not
fitting
very
between
big.
the studs.
So if you're really nervous but you have to do a bathroom, all you have to do is a small niche, and you can pull in a favorite tile for you. Now I work with Dana out in FD Tile off of 39th near the Harley Davidson store.
Oh yeah.
And she is amazing. She knows everything about the current trends. She works with a ton of builders. So just going in and having a conversation with her and looking at what they have is just a treat. So
Definitely, and they have anything that you could possibly think of for your, showers, your flooring. So, what do you think of hexagon in the kitchen? I haven't found the tile yet.
I have done this in a bunch of
Okay.
our homes, and it's been the backsplash. Do you mean on the ground?
No, I'm in on the ground. I was looking for larger white hexagon tile.
So
Maybe not white, but
So
like
hexagon, I think, is coming in. It's been subway tile that's been for around for a while, obviously for backsplashes and showers. But I think hexagon is coming in. Now we did a bathroom floor with black hexagon and white grout. Now that's very. It was a black and white house, and so a couple people have said, "Oh, that's going to be really."
It probably looks nice. I would be worried about how to
really
keep
dirty
the
about the grout.
grout.
So you kind of have to figure out what color grout you like. So like with the white subway tile, that's really, really popular still. It's changing it up to having gray or gold or blacks, or dark grays, light grays, and whites. So I don't know. I think the hexagon will be really nice.
I just like the shape of it because it's not square, and we've seen a lot of the elongated, more subway style. I agree, Meg. We are seeing that out there,
Meg,
and I like it.
Again, I think that's a really good point about the statement tile in the laundry room floors. So if you're redoing your house, or you're renovating, or you're just redecorating, starting with something simple like a laundry room and just picking that really favorite tile that you're not sure if it's going to work in a larger space, do it in a smaller space, like a small bathroom, a half bath, or a laundry room.
A trend I've seen with tile, and I see it more in the magazines. I have not seen it in Gainesville, but you do more new construction with that style, so you might be seeing that. Behind the wall where the mirrors go up in your bathroom, I'm seeing them by individual mirrors, but I've been seeing a lot in the magazines again of tile work behind that, which was really a pretty nice way to, and I have a bathroom I was thinking about doing that in, but then I'm like, what do I pick? Do I get subway? My problem is I see too much.
Right.
And then I have issues deciding.
Well, these are little niches, but you could do the Listello, which goes across, or the waterfalls that come down.
Oh yeah, the waterfalls
and
are
so
great.
you see that a lot during the Parade of Homes, which, by the way, is coming up in November. The Fall Parade of Homes will be in November. But you'll see a lot of they'll have like maybe 2 waterfalls or 1 big waterfall. And so that's a nice way of, again, in the shower or bathtub to do something like that. I have not seen the ones in the magazines behind the mirror. That's interesting. I'll have to look that up.
It's usually like a white subway tile or a colored subway tile that they're doing to kind of add as an accent in the bathroom. Specific tiles could impact the price of your home.
I mean, I think if you are buying a home or you're living in a home about to put it on the market, you are going to get you're going to get it sold faster. Even in this market where we're talking about things are selling really faster and for a higher price if you have nice upgrades. And something like just these niches, or your laundry room having a tile that's different and exciting for people. So I think that any sort of upgrade like this is going to add value. You don't want to try to sell your house that still looks like it's stuck in the 70s or 80s or 90s. So just updating a few things in your homes, to get them to feel a little more current and contemporary and up to what the current styles are, it's going to help you a lot more.
Meg, you'll have to post pictures and let us see that laundry room and backsplash once you get that completed. That's exciting. I like that.
Right,
I always think I think that's neat. Yeah, I always have trouble
A huge
picking
trend
things.
that what we went through when we worked out in Cinnamon Hills with IHB, it was on the ground, that's large subway tiles that look like wood, so the wood look tile. Nobody wants to do that anymore. So now we've gone to the luxury vinyl planking. And do you know of anybody who has replaced all of their flooring with that?
We did that in a remodel where it's in the bathrooms and everywhere. And it's nice because it makes the entire home, now this is only a 740 square foot property, but it makes the entire house feel larger because there's that continuity as you look down the hall and everywhere you see it. But
so we have a friend he bought a flip. Well, actually, he's moving into it instead. He's going to sell his home with us, and he bought this other home. And it's a large home. It's a 4-3, so sizable home. And we were wondering, do we do luxury vinyl planking throughout the entire house?
Why not?
Kitchen, laundry, bathrooms, and the main rooms. And I'm not sure if I've ever seen that before, but I think, like you were saying, the continuity, it'll look really beautiful.
Yes.
I wonder if not having a single break will look really nice.
I think it will look great, especially, so of course my mind goes into the furniture side of it, and I'm like, because then you could throw down some big rugs, and it's all going to flow together. Although I will say I do get down with some cool bathroom tiles and different things.
That's the thing. We're talking about bathroom tiles, and again, a hexagon floor. It looks pretty sweet.
It does. But I would not be as bold as the black and white, but I do like that. So what I'm noticing as I stare at these tiles is, it's funny, so I'm flipping through, I get magazines, I know, not like subscription magazines, but they send clothing magazines and decor and lighting and stuff to my house constantly, so please take me off the mailing list.
She's a shopaholic.
I have a shopping problem. Please stop sending magazines. So I'm flipping through them, and the clothing that I'm seeing coming out is very reminiscent of the early 90s.
Which was very reminiscent of the 70s.
Yes, which gets me to these hexagon tiles to where I'm like, oh good, glad you agree, Susan. I think that's a great idea. Same flooring through the whole house. I think it will make a huge difference for them. But yes, the hexagon, I'm like the shaped tiles, the funky geometrics in that niche that's on the screen. I'm like, those things kind of remind me of those time periods. And then I'm also seeing tiles that are textured, because I remember for a long time they were just super gloss.
Oh, there's this gorgeous, they're subway tiles, and there's about 4 or 5 colors, and they're textured, but there's one of the style is they're arrows. Like drawn in, but it's like almost they're painted on, or like, you know, taking a paintbrush and creating the arrows. So you don't really realize it's textured until you get up closer, but they are gorgeous.
So basically, like my mom said, all things come back in style.
Yeah, they do. The 90s are back.
The 90s are back. I'm really excited about the banana hair clips coming back.
You are not allowed to wear bell bottoms. I'm sorry.
No, I don't like bell bottoms. That is one trend I did see in the clothing store.
You can save that for Shauna at our office.
Yes, Shauna loves her some bell bottoms, but I won't be in bell bottoms, and I won't be in the like velour velvety tops that they wear, or the onesies.
I bought one of those.
Well, that's fine for you. But I also saw. I remember being in like middle school and high school, and like the onesies. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're called onesies, but anyways.
Call them onesies.
Yes,
Those
they're onesies for adults.
In the 90s.
And I'm like, yeah, I didn't like those then, and I'm not going to wear them now. But yes, so all trends come back in style. So we are seeing those colors, the tiles, all of that's coming back to that 70s, 90s looks. So I'm excited till we get to the phase where we have hunter green countertops again, like the early 2000s. But you know, it all comes around.
A house with hunter green countertops.
Yeah, I had one with red, so I get it. Yeah. Well, cool. So if you're wanting to know where you can find more design, more talks on color, and what's coming in and out of style, you can visit our blog. Rabell Realty Group has a blog. It's buysellrebell.com/blog, and you can go there. We try to put something up every week, whether it's photos from the show on things we talked about, like your family coming in from Cuba, designs and colors,
yep, we
simple
just
updates.
Threw up a design trends one up there that we've been talking about.
Yep, so that's on there, so you'll get to hear all about earth tones and bold colors combining together to make your home the most beautiful home it can be, to be ready to be sold by Rabell Realty Group, of course.
There we go, love it.
So, oh, how about mustard yellow?
You know what? It looked like there was a mustardy yellow. I kind of like mustard yellow for some reason.
I do too. I could use that as an accent color. But I am doing a little construction style bedroom for our youngest child, and it does have some mustard yellow in it. So that might be why I'm partial, because, you know, what is it, dump trucks and then the cement truck part. So, all right. So the next thing we were going to talk about as we talk about pricing are some homes we found on Zillow.
We just thought this was fun to go over. You thought Gainesville was high. What about these other areas? So the very first one, that house, that's not the best picture. I don't know why we chose that one. But that is in Martha's Vineyard.
Mm-hmm. And it's sold, it's estimated at $11 million, a little over $1 million.
$32 million,
$32 million. Oh, yes, I see that. Sorry.
And, I mean, you think prices are high here? Nope. And that was this year. It was not the highest price home ever, but $32 million. 35 million.
Crazy.
Crazy.
12 bedrooms, 12 bathrooms. So that's what you can get if you've got
But it is in Martha's Vineyard, so.
Well, yes. And so what we did was it started because you found an article that was sent to us about basically these, I don't know what you call them. I'm not thinking prestigious, but what was the word that we used to describe? But basically these like iconic places in the United States that real estate is just obscene. I mean, 32 million is obscene.
Well, I mean, we're talking a lot about like places in Miami, San Francisco, Los Angeles. People are moving away from because it's just getting so expensive. And now everyone's living from home or working from home, so they don't necessarily have to be in these very expensive areas. So they're moving out of them and moving to places like Austin and hopefully Gainesville. And, these smaller towns that really have more of a culture, a small culture, and not this big city, I've got to be the wealthiest person in town here. So these wealthy people are leaving and coming into smaller towns and buying, not having to spend this kind of money. But these are going on the market. They're still selling. This one sold for $32 million. So.
32.5. Don't shortchange them that $500,000. That's groceries for a week for them there.
We've got 4 of these, 2 that sold because we're not in the area, so we can't really find those. So that one, I believe, is the one that's actually. So this one it's the Malibu one.
This is the Malibu one.
It's on the market right now for $65 million. So it has not sold yet, but this is the one that got me started. It is a 3-bedroom, 4-bath home, private gated. I mean, 2.5, 12 feet of beachfront. It looks, I would get lost in 12 bedrooms also.
Well, then this one's for you, Julia. It's $65 million, so it's twice as much, but you only have 3 bedrooms and a little under 5,000 square feet to clean. But look at all those windows.
But they're also saying that it was, the architect is Guy Dreyer. Anyways, I've never known how to say his name. But it would be the most expensive house ever sold in this area if it sells. So it just came on the market 2-3 weeks ago and has not sold yet, but we'll see. I mean, again, these people are moving out of these areas and moving out of Malibu's and into Texas and Florida and North Carolina. So.
They're going from Malibu to maybe St. Augustine.
So
you guys can't see this. It's on our screen. $65 million. The estimated monthly payment for it, $301,000
a month.
So, don't forget your debt to income ratio on that. So if you could afford it, call us. I will connect you with the best Malibu agent I can find and help you out with that. I have a question, though.
Sure.
So as we're talking about real estate trends and people moving and working from home, do you think we're going to see over the next probably 5 years a trend where we're seeing multi-generational family living together again?
Yes.
Or more focused on homework, office space, like the needs of what people are looking for are going to change?
Well, the whole tiny house, phenomenon was a couple of years ago and came in, and we really thought that was going to take over our area and pretty much all of the American landscape of homes. But with COVID hitting, people were staying at home and realizing they need new space or more space. So I think they're going back to the larger homes where they can have, a grandparent living with them or 2 families living together, rather than just one tiny little house for everyone.
So where I find that funny is, so in the boom, those 4, 5, 6, 2000s, they called them McMansions.
Right.
Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
They were huge houses on small lots. And then we went to the tiny house phase, and now I'm like, I don't know if we'll get back to the McMansion, so to speak, but I'm almost like an in-between of where they have that, they want yards.
What I find is amazing is that the trend changed immediately. It went from tiny houses back to larger homes, these homes that, yes, a little bit of a yard. People want to be able to go outside where they're safe, not go outside where there's a lot of people, but in their own yard, be outside, but also have enough space to where, one partner is, in their office or in the bedroom working at that workspace while the other one is on the other side. They have 2 to 4 kids, maybe. Everyone's in their own space. You need a fairly large house for that.
Oh yeah, if everybody's doing homeschool or virtual school and working from the house, you definitely need that. And I think what also played a role in that is with the yard, parks closed.
Right.
Which I did see that they're opening back up on the 23rd allegedly, but But I mean, they've been closed since March. So if you have small children or you just like to go and walk there, there really hasn't been an outlet for that. So it is interesting to see. I also am wondering if we'll start to see builders make bedrooms larger so that children have room for desks.
For their desks.
Or if we're just going to see that compensated with furniture, where you do the bunk bed with the desk under or something of that nature. But
we're definitely going to see that. How we see it, we don't know yet, but we're definitely going to see that.
So the next one was in Alexandria, I believe. The home was listed for $60 million.
Is the one. Now this one just came on the market also, and the former Lockheed Martin Corps CEO is selling this home on the Potomac River. And this is one that also will be the most expensive home ever sold if this sells. And so we'll see. I mean, it's marked as being in the Mount Vernon area since the land was on part of President George Washington's estate. So, I mean, this is a part of history.
65 or 60, what was it? 60 million. I was giving him an extra 5 because,
yes,
you know.
60 million.
I mean, it's beautiful. It looks beautiful. The pictures are online. We might even be able to put links up on the website so that people can check them out too, because they are interesting to look at. You know, so again, if you're thinking of moving and you were wanting to buy this house, just call me and I'll hook you up with a realtor.
We don't mind those referral fees.
Yeah, we love referrals. And then I think the last one we have is in Nantucket. So that one had just been on my brain.
And that one sold
$25 million.
Right.
So it's the most affordable house that we've looked at today. Only 6 bedrooms. But yeah, that one sold. All these homes are either on the market or sold this year. You know, this one sold back in the beginning part of the year. So hopefully they enjoyed it while they were quarantined. And if they need a friend.
Quarantined on the beach. I'm sure they were fine.
Yeah, I'm quarantined in Nantucket.
In a golf club community. So.
Yes, so they probably had no problem. But yes, so that's what's happening around the United States with really beautiful, extravagant real estate.
So it's not really that expensive here.
Yeah, quit complaining about our prices. Our prices are totally under control. No, but it's always kind of neat to look outside. So if you're thinking about where you could connect with us, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. And of course, you can email us at any time at info@buysellrebell.com. Definitely go check out TikTok. We've got a lot of fun things happening on there. And then, of course, you know, for more homes and beautiful blog entries, you can always check us out on Facebook, and Instagram is fun.
And we want to thank Elio at Fiesta Media for doing this for us. This has been great. We've had a lot of fun with these podcasts, so thank you. And then also, don't forget to vote. We got early voting right now. You might have to stand in a long line, but vote.
There is a long line at the Millhopper Library, which is where we passed to come here, but it's worth it. Get out there and get your vote cast. Yep. And have a happy Monday.
Yay. Thanks for joining us again.